Fossil Pokemon. Prehistoric. Cool. These Pokemon can be difficult and sometimes even impossible to acquire. Having to go out of your way to get the fossil only to hold on to it until like 13 hours later when you forget about it, and then you have to revive it, but it's already late game, so when you get it, it's super low level and it sucks trying to level it up. So today we're gonna see just how fast you can obtain and revive a fossil in every single Pokemon game. While there are 9 total generations with multiple games spreading across each one, 2 generations leave fossils completely unobtainable. Gen 2 and Gen 9. Now, even though Gen 2 is unobtainable, we are still able to get some fossils in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so that will be on this list. But with that being said, let's begin the revival of my prehistoric plummet into insanity. Red and Blue is first on our list. After choosing Bulbasaur, we head up to grab Oak's Parcel. Once we have Pokeballs, we can catch 2 Rattatas, get our Bulbasaur to level 8 with 16 tackles and 36 growls as we head into Pewter City. After talking to the guy who doesn't let you pass, I tell him I'm actually chill as hell, and in return he grants me the power to walk through literal walls. I grab the old Amber just north of Brock's gym, and after save buffering and reloading one more time, I have full access to walk straight south all the way down to Cinnabar, reviving our first fossil of this gauntlet in 22 minutes and 16 seconds. I swear this is 100% legit and you can do this on your own copy. This is also by far the fastest game in this series, so don't expect me to be breaking every single game on this list. It was a different time, you know what I mean? Yellow is next, but unfortunately we can't walk through any walls in this one. Since we start with a Pikachu, we catch a Nidoran early to sweep the game as he gets double kick early on to take down Brock. We wait to evolve our Nidorino until after Misty to avoid super effective damage, and we grab the Helix fossil in the process. I defeat Lieutenant Surge and Koga, allowing us to obtain Surf and head down to Cinnabar, where we revive our Ammonite in 2 hours and 38 minutes. Nice, I guess. Our first game on the Game Boy Advance leads us to the Hoenn region in Pokemon Ruby. We only need the 4th gym badge to unlock access to the fossils, and luckily a Marshtomp can carry us through the entire game quickly. Or so I thought! As we choose our Mudkip, make our way to Rustboro, defeat Roxanne with ease, and save Mr. Briney's Wingull, he allows us access to Dewford Town and the rest of the game. Before leaving though, I catch a Tailo as it'll be vital to progressing down the road. We hand Steven his letter and fight Dewford's gym, leveling Tailo up to a decent 16 before heading to Slateport. We deliver Captain Stern's parts, and this is where the game is put to a standstill, because the following route contains a rival battle. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Grovyle kind of rails Marshtomp. Okay, like, it's bad. Tailo is only in this playthrough to take down Grovyle, and after grinding it up to level 19, we finally defeat the Grovyle, allowing the rest of the game to be risk-free. We demolish Watson, thwart Team Magma at Mount Chimney, and defeat Flannery in Lava Ridge. Meg gives us the Go Goggles, and we can finally head into the desert, where we head into the Mirage Tower. Where's the Mirage Tower? Oh, right. Yeah, that's not in this game. They're just up here, I guess. But we grab the Claw Fossil and head back to Rustboro, where our fossil becomes an Anorith in 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 50 seconds. Believe it or not, that's actually one of the fastest times in this entire video. So if that's not a bad omen, I don't know what is. Heading back to Kanto, we open up Fire Red, the objective better of the two. Nidoking isn't nearly as effective in this game, and with more gameplay unavoidable, I think I actually found a pretty decent replacement. Now, hang on. I know this seems strange, but hear me out. Because Mr. Mime is a traded Pokemon, he receives a 50% experience boost from every fight, and since he can learn Magical Leaf, Shockwave, and Psychic, practically every gym or trainer can be covered. Since I traded Mr. Mime before Lieutenant Surge, I also caught a Wild Dugtrio just to make sure I could beat him, as he was the only leader Mr. Mime couldn't guaranteed kill. But after he was out of the way, there was no stopping our little Mimian. He soloed Erica, the Rocket Hideout, the Pokemon Tower, the rival fights, and he definitely soloed Koga. I was also feeling kind of juiced with the momentum and ended up catching the Snorlax en route to Fuchsia, so I taught it Surf before flying back to Pallet and surfing to Cinnabar. But I wasn't going for another Ammonite. Oh no. I took the extra time loss and snagged the old Amber from Pewter when I got Mr. Mime, and after finally reviving it, I looked at the clock and realized my time was 3 hours and 19 minutes. Where the fuck? Pokemon Emerald, the only good Gen 3 game. I followed a very similar route to Ruby, but since I played this first, I was not prepared. I skipped Dewford's gym and took a longer time grinding Tailo because of it. But once the rival fight was out of the way, I defeated Watson and Flannery, and yep, alright, there's the tower. I grabbed the root fossil and revived it, giving me a leap in 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 49 seconds. Moving on to the DS and our first game in the Sinnoh region. This is the first game where fossils aren't acquired in a certain location, but rather you actually have to excavate them yourselves from the Grand Underground region. While you only need the first gym badge for this, you also have to defeat the Valley Windworks thugs and make it to Eterna City before gaining access to digging. I choose Chimchar, and once it evolves into Monferno, I take on the Orberg gym, defeating Rourke with ease and heading north to Floroma Town where we take on the Windworks.
Let me in. I want to come in now, please.
Monferno easily tosses them aside, and after heading through Eterna Forest, we arrive, talking to the digging dude, and going down into the earth, where everything is on the bottom screen and you can't see it. While fossils aren't guaranteed, this actually took a lot longer than I was expecting, but we managed to find an armor fossil before heading back to Orberg and reviving it into a Shieldon in 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 15 seconds. Platinum was the same experience, as all the cool new game features are later in the game. We actually managed to excavate and revive another Shieldon, this time 7 seconds slower at 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 22 seconds. Maybe there is some extra content early on, I don't know. For the first and only time in this video, we head over to Johto in Soul Silver. Now let me just check my notes on where you can revive fossils in Soul Silver. Oh, Pewter City, okay. And, when can you get to Pewter City? Oh, right, after the Elite Four. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna be here a while. I decided to solo the game with Totodile, as his moveset allows me to cover every gym in the game, and since there's so much post-game content, the Champion's Ace is level 50, so I don't need much to overlevel my little Croc. After trekking through the entirety of Johto, running uphill in every direction, I collect 8 badges, catch a shiny, defeat some girls at a dance theater, and summon Lugia, which is also required, by the way. This is actually incredibly helpful, though, as Lugia and Feraligatr are more than capable enough of defeating the Elite Four and Champion. And now that I've beaten Soul Silver, it's time to finally acquire a fossil. I head to the Ruins of Alph, use Rock Smash, and oh wow, okay, that didn't take long. With our Amber in hand, we head to Olivine, hop on the ferry to Kanto, play hide and seek with this little kid, I guess, and head to Diglett Tunnel to... it's blocked. Fuck. We go north to Saffron, north to Cerulean, head east to Power Plant. Power Plant don't work. Head back to Cerulean, find some foreign guy, don't really know what he's saying, but that's a Team Rocket uniform, so bad. Steal the part he stole, return the part back to Power Plant. Power Plant work now. Yippee! Fly over to Lavender Town Radio, because after a couple years, the tombstones were getting a little too non-commercial, so they relocated all the graves and stuff somewhere. I don't know. I didn't bother asking anyone. But now we have access to the Pokeflute radio station. We wake up the Snorlax, ride along the tunnel, and make it out to Pewter City, where we can finally revive our Aerodactyl after, oh yeah, 6 hours and 3 minutes. This thing is level 20. Pokemon Black and White, arguably my favorite generation. This fossil isn't too bad, as we only need to complete 3 gyms. I choose Tepeg, grab the Elemental Monkey, and defeat the first gym leader. I didn't bother looking up his name. Cilantro's blue guy, we'll call him. Anyway, after that, we head to Nakreen City, which is where the revival will take place. We defeat Lenora easily with our new Pignite. And after rescuing a stolen Dragonite fossil, we make it to Castelia City, where our Pignite burns the entire gym to the ground. There were no survivors. The trainers screamed in agony as their Pokemon were engulfed in a heat so hot the sun looked for fucking shade. But now that we have our 3rd badge, we can finally head up to Route 4 and reach the Desert Resort, where a kind backpacker asks us if we want a fossil. Yeah, that's literally the only fucking reason I'm here, idiot. I arrive back in Nakreen City and head to the museum, where my Tirtuga is revived in 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 52 seconds. On to Black and White 2, the fun remakes with more content. Let's go back to Nakreen and get some fossils. So for the sake of keeping this brief, I won't go into much detail, but in order to beat the entirety of Black 2, I actually just followed the route that the world record speedrun uses. So if you wanted to see how I did it fully, just go check that out. But basically, Excadrill is good. After choosing Tepig, I catch a P-Dove and Psyduck by Flossessi Ranch. HM move, guys. I beat the first 2 gyms, but before the third, I head down to the Castelia sewers and find a Dust Cloud and Relic Passage containing Drillbur. I acquire the experience share and give it to my new mole before taking down the 3rd gym. Now we use Drillbur until game done. I take down the 4th gym, evolve the Excadrill, teach him Iron Head because I got some red shards from some dude earlier, beat the 5th gym, learn Earthquake by level up, grab the lucky egg and give it to Excadrill before beating the 6th gym. I finished off the other 2 gyms before defeating the entirety of Team Plasma, all before heading to the Elite Four, and after reaching levels into the 70s, I defeat the Elite Four and Iris, completing Black 2. Now I think I was doing something earlier, but I don't really remember. Oh, right, rock. I fly back to Castelia City and can now bike down south to Nakreen City, where Lenora hands me my own personal fossil. I grab the plume fossil and revive my little Archon in 5 hours and 48 minutes. Our days of pixeled Pokemon are past us as we progress to Pokemon X on the 3DS. We only need 1 gym before we can snag and revive a fossil, so we waste no time trying to get there. We choose Froakie, which might not have been the best choice for the bug gym, but it's the choice I made, since I thought you had to beat the 2nd gym before I started playing. But after fighting every single trainer in the first routes, beating the gym, and getting lost in this shithole, I make it to Route 5 or 6, I don't know, wherever the Snorlax is. We catch a Doug, watch fireworks with huge Riz, and then get to Ambrit Town, where we can shimmy over to Glimmering Cave, grab a Jaw Fossil, and resurrect a Tyrant in 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 53 seconds. What is this guy on about? Also, this game sucks. The fact that you can literally have 2 starters, Snorlax, Lucario, Tyrant, and Sandile before the 4th gym, what the fuck? Moving on to a familiar area, we make our way back to Hoenn in Alpha Sapphire. The gameplay is literally the exact same as Ruby, except I catch a Zubat in Granite Cave instead of a Taillow. With the new EXP given to everything and Zubat being quad resistant to grass, it made a lot more sense over Taillow. After following all the same steps, I revive my Anorith in 2 hours and 7 minutes. For our 12th game, we fly over to Alola for Sun and Moon. Fossils can be bought in Coney City, which is acquired after like 35 trials or something. I choose Rowlet because he turns his head around and it looks cool. I also caught a Magnemite, which was useless, and after the first few trials, caught a Mudbray, which was the only reason I even made it past the fire trial. After defeating the grass trial, we were finally able to reach Coney, so I went and bought a Skull Fossil and went north to revive it in some random RV by the Jungle in 4 hours and 36 minutes. Now, when I looked up the difference between Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, the internet didn't really have an answer, so I guess I'm doing this shit again. This time I chose Litten instead of Rowlet, mainly because I got no clue what the hell is going on in this game. Since I don't have Rowlet, the water trial is going to be difficult, so I opt to catch another Magnemite, so it won't be useless this time. It didn't have Sturdy. Useless. Okay, so I don't even know what to say. This was like my 8th encounter. After catching both the shiny Zorua and a Magnemite, I play the game. Something the internet failed to mention once was that pretty much all of the totem Pokemon are different in this game. And so I pretty much needed luck with paralysis from Magnemite just to progress the game. But after making it back to Coney City, we bought a Sail Fossil and revived it in 3 hours, 55 minutes, and 52 seconds, which is a lot faster than it felt. Our final console is the Switch, and we start off with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. This game sucks. After obtaining a Nidoking and using the support trainer system, it still took 4 hours and 11 minutes to get to Cinnabar Island and revive our Ammonite. The amount of Pokemon I had to catch and trainers I had to fight just to have the experience for a chance at most gyms was pitiful at best. Generation 8 is Sword and Shield. This is a fact. We started with Score Bunny and only needed to beat 3 gyms to access the Dig Bros, who dig for shit, I guess. After catching like 13 Pokemon and using them in battle to beat trainers and gym leaders, we made it to the Dig Bros, where they sure dug. After some super legit in-game time traveling, we got lucky and received the bird and dino fossils. We took them to this lady and she put them in this little thing and bam, Arctazol. It happened so fast I forgot I had been playing for 3 hours and 23 minutes. Oh, Oh my god, kill me! For the final game, we head back to Sinnoh one more time, doing literally everything we did on the DS. After getting pretty lucky with excavating, we revived our Cranidos after an hour and 29 minutes, which I kid you not is the fastest I completed a single game. Why do you take so long to get fossils in these games? They are level 1, they are level 5, they are level 20. You have beat the game already! What the fuck's the point, man? I don't know! Here are all the games in order from fastest to slowest. I did the math, and the total time it took to record this was just under 46 hours. I hope this helps shine a light on the fossils that already have lights shining on them in museums, because more lights makes things brighter. I remember one time as a kid, I went to a geology museum for my birthday, and one of the dudes that worked there gave me a fossilized turtle shell. And I took it home and showed my friends, but they all thought it was a normal rock, so I had to explain that it was like millions of years old. And then one of my friends told me that every rock is like a million years old, and it totally killed the vibe. Not cool, man.